Hello. Today is Monday, June 21st, no it's not. Today is Monday, June 22nd, which is very exciting because today is the first day of the Romanceathon Readathon, hosted by Gabby over at Gabby Reads and Jacqueline over at Weeby Bookin. So the Romanceathon is a week-long readathon, which means I have until Sunday, the 28th, to complete the 5 set-out reading challenges as well as the 1 buddy read, and overall just read as many romance books as possible. If you want to see my TBR for the readathon and learn more about the challenges, definitely check out my TBR video. It will be up in the cards above. Definitely make sure to watch that first. Let's just get into the vlog. So today I woke up not feeling so great. So honestly, I laid in bed for quite a while, but eventually I got hungry, went to the kitchen, made myself a very tiny bowl of cereal because that was all the Cinnamon Toast Crunch that was left. Big sad. Also, the cereal goes first and then the milk, you psychopaths. After breakfast, Elvis and I went outside for a walk. Elvis did not feel like walking today because it was too hot. So we walked to the end of our driveway and then went back inside. That was okay with me because I was hot as well. After that, I had to get some filming done. I filmed my mid-year freakout tag today, as well as finished up my choose your own adventure vlog today. Definitely check out both of those videos. They went up last week and were really fun. So now I am done filming and I think I'm going to go and pick up Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. This is an arc that I got from NetGalley. It actually comes out tomorrow, June 23rd, and it is a romance between an ex-Olympic hopeful gymnast and a new coach at her gym. Originally, my TBR, this wasn't going to count for any of my challenges, but I think I am going to change that around and count it towards the read a romance with your favorite trope challenge. My favorite trope is enemies to lovers, which wasn't the book that I chose for this challenge in my TBR video anyway, but I couldn't find anything that was enemies to lovers that I really was interested in reading. This book is a gymnastics romance, which I don't really know is necessarily a romance trope, but it's definitely one of my favorite things to read about. I love reading about gymnastics and I love reading about romance, so gymnastics romance is a thing. I'm making it a thing. It's a trope. That's what this book is going to count towards. Mostly because I don't want to read more than I have to this week and I kind of have to read this book and review it before tomorrow. So that's the plan. Hi friends, it is Tuesday the 23rd and I just thought I would check in for the day. Honestly, my life is very uneventful. Since I talked to you last night, I did start Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. I got about like 15 to 20% of the way through this yesterday afternoon and then I went to bed. And this morning, as I said, not a lot has happened today because my life is boring and uneventful because I'm basically still in quarantine and unemployed. So today I also finished You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This is actually for another video and not really for the Romanceathon, so I'm not really going to talk about it a lot here, but I did finish it and I did really enjoy it. I also started Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar today. I believe I'm about 20% of the way through this one right now. I am really enjoying this one so far. We just are starting to be introduced to the characters. This is basically following a queer black trans boy named Felix, obviously. And at the very beginning of this book, Felix is unfortunately blackmailed. Someone digs up old pictures of him and dead names him in this display at school. He thinks he knows who did it and wants to get revenge on them, so he starts putting that plan into action. I am liking this so far, but Felix as a character is annoying me just a little bit. I really hope that he grows and learns more about himself throughout this story because right now he is pretty immature in the way that he's reacting to things. Obviously, I'm not trans. I don't know how I would react to these things, but he just is very prone to jumping to conclusions and to being defensive in situations where I don't think he necessarily needs to be. So right now he is grating on my nerves a little bit, but I hope that throughout the story he kind of grows and improves on that. I am currently listening to that on audio and should finish it up hopefully tomorrow maybe. I also am now 50% of the way through Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. This is a gymnastics romance. It follows our main character Avery, who was an Olympic hopeful gymnast until she had a terrible injury at the trials and her life kind of went off the rails from there. She actually has recently moved back to her hometown, is trying to get her life back on track, and she's offered this coaching job at her old gym, and there she meets this guy named Ryan, who she actually kind of grew up with, going to competitions together in the gymnastics world, so she knows who he is, doesn't actually know him, but they start working together coaching this girl Hallie, who is another Olympic hopeful gymnast, and they kind of start to have their own romance. I am really liking this so far. I really love books about gymnastics, so I so love reading that aspect of it, maybe even more than I like reading about the romance. I do like the romance though so far, and it's just kind of starting to pick up, and they've just kind of finally decided that they want to try to be together. So I am excited to see where it goes, and I'm also excited to see see how the gymnastics aspects of this book play out, and I'm just overall really enjoying it. So I'm hoping to finish Head Over Heels today. It actually is release day for Head Over Heels, so I really want to get my review up on NetGalley. So that is my plan basically for the rest of the evening. I also am going to probably finish editing the video that's going up tomorrow, but other than that, uneventful life over here. So I will keep you updated as I can and let you know if I do anything interesting. Probably not unless they call me to go to work, but you know, whatever. So yeah, I will talk to you later. Hi, it's Wednesday and I'm still bad at vlogging. So we're in for another boring day today. I went and did yoga with the neighborhood old ladies earlier today. Here's me walking to yoga. Lots of fun. Then I did some computer work when I got home. Now I'm here. As far as a reading update, last night I did finish Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. I ended up feeling okay about this book. I gave it 3 stars. I really liked the gymnastics aspect of it. I didn't absolutely love the romance. The sparks weren't really there for me. It felt a little forced. Especially towards the end of the book, the author kind of lost her esteem with her writing as well, and it kind of started verging into like telling instead of showing territory, and that it felt like Avery, the main character, was just giving me a monologue trying to convince me that Ryan was great when really I wasn't convinced, because she was just telling me things that she felt and not showing me that he was actually a good person. They have this like really big conflict, and I personally didn't like the conflict because it kind of has to do with him not believing her as being a victim of abuse growing up, and that just didn't sit right with me. He did take some good steps once he realized his mistake, but it just felt a little bit too convenient, and like she forgave him a little bit too easily. And then after that, I wasn't into the romance as much anymore. I did really like the gymnastics aspect, as I said. I just thought this book could have done with a little bit more depth, a little bit more development, a little bit more nuance, and definitely a little bit more smut. There was no there's hardly any of that in this book, which I was kind of upset since this is an adult romance, but you know, whatever. We can't have it all, I guess. Anyway, I gave this 3 stars. It was pretty good. If you're interested, I would recommend checking it out. Probably won't blow you out of the water, but it was a fun, quick read. It came out yesterday, June 23rd, and so it is available to everybody now. For the rest of the day today, I'm going to try and make progress on If Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. I haven't got much farther than what I was at yesterday. Felix as a character is still kind of annoying me. In a scene that I just read, he kind of insinuates that his friend's feelings and his friend's complaints aren't valid because he's so privileged. Everybody has struggles in their lives, and that's something that you got to understand. Obviously, some people's struggles are worse than others, but that doesn't invalidate somebody else's issues and problems, and especially doing that to a friend who is just there for you and is a good friend to you, it was kind of annoying to me. He seems very self-centered, and that's not my favorite trait in a main character. But overall, I still am enjoying it. I don't really know where it's gonna go so far. If I had to rate it, it's hovering around a 3-star for me right now. I also am planning to start Beach Read by Emily Henry today. Hopefully I'll be able to make a little bit of progress. The Page Turner Book Club live show is on Saturday, so I definitely have to get it done before then, but I don't think that will be that big of an issue. If you didn't know, this is about 2 authors who both vacation in neighboring vacation houses, and they both have writer's block, and so in order to try and help overcome that writer's block, they decide to switch genres. He writes literary fiction, she writes romance, so they end up switching genres to see if that will help them overcome their writer's block, and I think they fall in love. Everybody has been raving about this book. Everybody loves it so much, so I'm very excited to get to it and hope that I love it just as much as everybody else. So that is my plan for the rest of the day, and I will try and keep updating you, trying to film some more b-roll to make this a little bit more interesting of a vlog, but this is where we are right now. Sorry. Hi, I've done no reading since I last talked to you, but I did get some book mail, so I thought I would open it with you guys. Don't know if you're interested or not, but got 2 books in here. First is Party of Two by Jasmine Galori. This is still on my Romanceathon TBR, so hopefully I will get to this one this week. This follows an ambitious girl who moves to LA to start her own law firm, but then she meets this guy and he's great, but it just so happens that he is a senator, so they kind of have to start dating in secret, and this just sounds like a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get to it. It's also a nice floppy paperback. We love that. And then I also got Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. I think this story kind of starts out as a friends with benefits kind of deal, but then obviously they fall in love. This one also sounds really cute, as does Talia Hibbert's other book. This was originally on my Romanceathon TBR, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to get to it this week or not. Probably not. But I definitely will get to it soon. It sounds super cute. I can't wait. It's so cute. It's another nice and floppy. We love it. All right. Now this big boy. So these are all from the Amazon like 3-for-2 deal that they were doing. So I've got 6 books here. The first one is another Jasmine Galore. It's called The Wedding Date. I believe this is an enemies to lovers romance. Both of these characters go to their best friend's wedding. They are both in the bridal party, end up sharing some bridal party responsibilities. I think they also hook up throughout the wedding weekend, and they're like, what did we do? But then obviously they fall in love. And this one sounds super cute too and right up my alley. I absolutely love enemies to lovers, so I'm excited to get to this one as well. This one is so pretty. I love how colorful these all are. Look at that. And I also picked up The Proposal by Jasmine Galore. This basically follows a character who is proposed to by her boyfriend of about 6 months while at a baseball game on the big screen. She says no, but then she gets a lot of negative backlash, and I think this guy, Carlos, kind of sweeps in to rescue her, and she ends up having kind of like a rebound romance with him, but then obviously it turns into something more because it's a romance book. These all sound so cute. I'm very, very excited to read all of these, and hopefully I like Jasmine Galore because I just bought 3 of her books, but I can't imagine not liking them. They sound so good. I also picked up The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is an adult thriller novel, and this takes place at an island off the coast of Ireland. All these people are here for somebody's wedding, and the tagline is everyone on the island has a secret, everyone has a motive, and someone won't leave this wedding alive. So this definitely sounds really good. I think it's a classic kind of whodunit story. It's been getting a lot of hype on BookTube and Bookstagram, so I'm excited to pick this one up. I also picked up The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abby Dare, and it's kind of damaged. What the heck, Amazon? What are you doing? This book is beautiful though. I believe this is a coming of age story following a 14-year-old Nigerian girl who all she wants is to get an education and to learn English, but her father actually sells her into a marriage, and I think this is just a story of resilience and accomplishing whatever you set out to do despite insurmountable odds. I have heard very, very good things about it, and it sounds so good. I can't wait to get to this one either. I also picked up 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. This is another thriller, and it is about a killer who starts taking inspiration from classic detective and thriller stories and copycatting those murders, and I think it gets blamed on this bookseller who is kind of obsessed with these books, but I don't think he did it, and he is going about trying to figure out who is actually killing these people. This sounds so good, and it does spoil the twist in a lot of classic murder mysteries, so I kind of was debating doing a reading vlog where I read the 8 books that these murders are based on and then read this thriller. Let me know down below if you would be interested in that. I definitely might do that. I think that sounds kind of fun. And then finally, I picked up Jo and Laurie by Margaret Stoll and Melissa De La Cruz. I think this is kind of a reimagined ending to the classic story Little Women. I actually haven't read the book Little Women yet, but I have seen the movie. The ending was slightly disappointing, so I think I might again do a reading vlog where I read Little Women and then I read this book. I think that might be fun. We can kind of compare and contrast Little Women with the movie as well. I don't know if this is like canon with the ending of the book of Little Women, but this doesn't sound like it would be canon to the end of the movie. I just think this sounds really good. So those are the 8 books that I just got in the mail. I hope you liked this little book haul clip. Now we can return to our regularly scheduled program. Hello friends, today is Thursday. I have just been having another boring day, if you couldn't guess. Last night I finished up my evening. I was supposed to go apartment hunting. We had an appointment to tour this place at 5:30. We got there and the doors were locked. We were like, what the heck? And they came out and they were like, oh, well, we don't do tours at 5:30. You shouldn't have been able to book that online. I was like, cool, nice, awesome. But whatever, it was fine. We went and got pizza and had dinner, and so I was good. Everything worked out. And then I came home, and last night I did finish Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. Unfortunately, I really didn't like this one. I really went into it expecting to absolutely love it, but it was kind of a letdown for me. As I mentioned before, Felix, the main character, was just very immature, very self-centered, quick to judge his friends for no particular reason, even when his friends are like pretty much amazing to him. And he just made a ton of mistakes throughout this book, and I understand like being a teenager is about being messy and making mistakes, but I just didn't really like the way he treated his friends, especially because his relationship with this guy named Declan. Declan was Ezra's ex-boyfriend. Ezra is Felix's best friend, and Ezra is the best character by far. In this story, he is so willing to defend Felix no matter what, and he is on his team 100%. So to have a relationship with Declan when Declan was kind of awful to both Ezra and Felix prior to this just didn't sit right with me. I don't think friends should be the friends of people who are mean to their friends. I don't know. There were just a couple things about it that bothered me. I do think the representation and visibility relatability that this book provides is unmatched, and I think it's very important when it comes to that. I just wish that I had liked the characters a little bit more. So I gave this one 3 stars. This is taking off a challenge for me. I can't remember which one right now. The lighting in here is so weird. Is that better? Haven't read anything else yet. I am supposed to start Beach Read today, so hopefully I will do that. Nothing has happened so far today. Took my dog for a walk as usual. I was supposed to go to the dentist, but then nobody told me over the phone that I wasn't supposed to have been out of the state in 30 days, and I have because I'm a flight attendant. So I got there, I was like, well, I didn't feel right like not telling them that, and they were like, oh, well, we can't see you now. It's like, oh, cool. My life is great. But I didn't want to go to the dentist anyway, so dodged a bullet, honestly. The rest of my day, took a nap. I've been doing some computer work, and that's pretty much it. I will try and update you soon. I'm so bad at vlogging, but nothing is happening, so that's why I'm bad at vlogging. Okay, bye. Hello again, friends. Another day, another makeupless face. Today's Friday, so this is the 5th day of the readathon so far. I started my morning with some coffee, and then I walked my dog. I actually made it to the gym today. I was very proud of myself. So here's me doing crunches, very exciting. Also look very sweaty. And that's basically all I've done so far today. I am gonna film a video a little bit later, but it's just gonna be my July plan with me because I really don't feel like putting makeup on. So last night I did start Beach Read, and I am like a third of the way in. Maybe I'm on page like 125, I think, and I am really enjoying it so far. So this is basically following 2 different writers. They both have beach houses on Lake Michigan. They were actually college rivals, and this is the first time they're seeing each other again. They're both kind of in the middle of like a writer's block, so they make this bet to switch genres. She writes romance and he writes literary fiction, and they kind of bet that each of the other can't do what they do, so they decide to switch. And it's honestly really good so far. It is very readable. I do like both of the 2 main characters, and I also like their relationship so far. It's pretty funny. They have a good banter, and I don't know, it's just really cute. I'm really having a lot of fun. I can't wait to finish it. I also started If I Never Met You this morning. This is the buddy read for the Romanceathon, and I think I'm also going to count it for my read a book with 5 words in the title challenge. This basically is following our main character who has been in this long-term relationship with her boyfriend for 18 years, but he suddenly drops a bomb on her and decides he wants to break up. And one of his reasons is that he doesn't want kids. He feels too settled down. But then 2 months later, he drops this bomb on her that he has found this new girlfriend. This new girlfriend is pregnant. They're probably gonna get married, and she's like, what the heck? So I think she's gonna start up a like fake romance or like a casual romance with this playboy in her office to make him like jealous or something along those lines. I'm not really sure yet. I'm not super far into it so far, but I am really enjoying it. I am reading the audiobook, and this does take place in the UK, so it has a British, she almost kind of sounds a little bit Irish or Scottish narrator, and so that's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I always like a narrator to have an accent. I just think it's fun. My new video did go up today. It was my Choose Your Own Adventure reading vlog. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. I worked really hard on this video and really like how it turned out, so I definitely would appreciate you going to check it out if you haven't already. So yeah, I have a little promo left to do for that, and I'm gonna film that video, hopefully finish Beach Read today. Those are my plans. I don't have a lot else going on, so okay, see you later. Bye. Today is Monday. I just wanted to pop on here really quick and wrap up this vlog, especially because I didn't really film a whole lot this weekend. So this week I did end up finishing 4 books, and I started a 5th. So since I at least made progress in 5 books, I'm gonna count them as my 5 unique challenges. So the first book I finished this week was You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I am counting this for the challenge to read a romance with 5 or more words in the title. I didn't read the whole thing this week, but I did finish it this week, so I'm counting it. So this basically follows our main character Liz, who really wants to get out of her hometown, but to do this she needs a scholarship for college. The college that she applied to didn't give her the scholarship she wanted, so she ends up running for prom queen because prom queen at her school is awarded a scholarship. And throughout this story she learns things about herself, navigates friendships, also navigates a female-female relationship in a town that is pretty close-minded. I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I will talk more about it in another reading vlog coming out in about a week and a half. The next book I finished was Head Over Heels by Hannah Ornstein. I am counting this as my read a romance with an illustrated cover challenge. This is basically a romance between 2 coaches of an Olympic hopeful gymnast. Our main character Avery used to be an Olympic level gymnast, but unfortunately she had an injury right before the Olympics, which forced her into retirement and ended her career. She's still pretty depressed and torn up over this, even 7-10 years later, but she finds a lot of joy in coaching. I liked this one, but I didn't love it. I gave it 3 stars. I really liked the gymnastics elements, but the romance didn't really do it for me, and it just wasn't the most well-written book. I think that it could have been done a little bit better. Next, I read Felix Ever After by Kason Calendar. This is a book following a Black queer trans main character. Somebody actually tries to blackmail our main character Felix, and Felix sets off on this journey to get revenge against his blackmailer, and he ends up in a sort of love triangle. Aside from Felix's love life, this book is also about discovering yourself, rediscovering yourself, and being okay with that. I talked about this quite a bit in a previous vlog clip. I did like this book and I really appreciate it for what it is. I think it's so important in its representation and subject matter, but it just was kind of a hard book for me to get behind because I didn't love the main character Felix. I thought he was very selfish and very judgmental and made so many mistakes, and I know that's part of being a teenager, but at the same time some of the mistakes he made just were a little bit too far for me, especially when it came to talking to and falling for his best friend Ezra's ex. I didn't like that aspect. It felt like cheating on your friend to me, especially when Ezra was such a good friend to Felix. Felix just didn't treat Ezra as well as Ezra treated Felix, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. Overall, I gave this book 3 stars. I do think it's very important. If it sounds good to you, definitely pick it up. I just had a couple personal qualms with it that docked a few stars. And I didn't say this, but I did count this for my challenge to read a romance by a new to you author. Then next I finished Beach Read by Emily Henry. This was our page turner book club pick for June. I actually finished it like an hour before the live stream, which was very stressful, but I got it done. We finished it. This counted for my challenge to read a romance published in 2020. Also, if you're interested in watching that live stream discussion, I will link it in the cards and in the description down below. Definitely go check that out. It was a really good discussion. We had a lot of fun. This book I rated 4 stars, and I think that's purely because went into it with such high expectations. Everybody I knew was giving it 5 stars, but for me reading it, it wasn't a 5-star book for me, unfortunately. It just was a little bit too simple. I did really like the romance, but it didn't make me swoon nearly as hard as some other ones that I've read recently. I did like the main characters. I liked the family dynamics in particular. Those definitely made me emotional and I thought were done really well. But overall, this is a 4-star read for me because it's just not quite there. And then finally, I have started If I Never Met You by Mahari McFarlane. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. This is an office place romance between our 2 main characters. Our main female character, Lori, actually gets broken up with by her long-term boyfriend of 18 years. The very beginning of this story, he breaks up with her, tells her that he doesn't want to be tied down anymore, he doesn't want to have kids, and then he turns around and gets into a serious relationship and impregnates his new girlfriend like 2 months later. So he's a jerk. But anyway, Lori gets stuck in an elevator with one of her coworkers, Jamie, who is very much a player. He actually needs to be seen as more of a settled family guy in order to get a promotion within their law firm. Lori wants to make Dan jealous, so they spark up this agreement that they're going to pretend to be in a relationship. So this has a fake dating trope, which is why I counted it for the challenge to read a romance with your favorite trope in it. Fake dating is probably not my absolute favorite trope, but it's a good one, so this counts. Plus, this was the buddy read for the Romanceathon. I missed the live stream because I didn't finish the book in time, but definitely I'm gonna try and finish it today, so it like kind of counts, you know. I am enjoying this one so far. I do think it's a little boring. I think it's a little long. I think it probably could have been shortened up a little bit, but I do like the main characters. Depending on how it ends, I think will be how I'm going to rate it. Right now, it's probably between a 3 and a 4, but we shall see for sure. If you are interested in my final rating, definitely follow me on Goodreads or on Instagram. I post reviews for every single book I read on both platforms. But yeah, so that was my Romanceathon vlog. Sorry I'm bad at vlogging, but I did have a lot of fun this week reading all these romance books. Thank you so much for watching. All relevant links will be in the description down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!